I'd like to welcome everybody to this Committee of the Whole meeting, September 10th, 2024. I'm Pam Cotter. All council members are here, mayor's here. Thank you, Jennifer and Patty, for doing everything and setting this up for us. The first thing we would like to do is the approval of minutes for the Committee of the Whole, August 6th, 2024, Committee of the Whole, August 13th, 2024. If there's not a problem, I would like to take both of those. Is there any corrections, questions, or comments from anyone?
I don't have any.
Okay, if we don't, that's great. Then I will take a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from Committee of the Whole, August 6, 2024, and August 13, 2024.
I have a motion by Councilmember Paul Pickett. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second by Councilmember Turner, and we can now do a voice vote. I'll say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, so now we're on discussion item number 1. Discuss an ordinance amending the city fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. Brenda Moore will be presenting. Thank you, Brenda, for being here.
I have a really long PowerPoint because you guys read that thing, didn't you? No. Well, this is just a couple of reminders. Some of the PowerPoint is just for me to remember to tell you. Let me put it in presentation mode. There you go.
I just have a couple of questions.
And I really hate being able to see myself.
I know,
So
I just
please
said,
get rid of
that
that.
seems.
But just look back there,
But I
Brenda.
just heard us focus in more.
Yeah, okay, so.
Yes, nice.
I know, God, that is weird, 'cause I'm looking, I'm going like, I'm bigger than I
Okay, so in the CIP fund, these are just a couple things for you to remember on this. Most of this is just rolling the budget forward. So in the CIP fund, some of the rules I follow, if a department is allocated funds for a project and it comes in under budget, they get to keep the extra for the next project. Departments may save multiple years for a piece of equipment. The easiest way for me to track that is to budget the amount being saved, so that I don't use it twice somewhere accidentally. If a project has requested additional funds, when they complete if there are any additional funds, those are returned to reserves.
Would you give us examples, Brenda?
So, an example of that one is, the storage building that Parks did. They requested some additional money for landscaping, and of course, they dug a hole in Murray and found stuff that they didn't wanna find. Mostly it was just trash, but, so it cost more money to do. So they were allocated more money, and then they have now finished the project. There was about $20,000 left. That went back into the reserves for the CIP.
Okay.
The other one is like if they say, oh, a piece of equipment is gonna cost $250,000, it comes in at $230,000. I don't take away that $20,000. I say, good job finding a cheaper whatever, and you can keep that for the next thing, cause it might go over budget, so. Or they might find something else that they need. So that's kind of once we give them money in the CIP plan, we usually don't take it away from them.
Okay, so they're able to roll it over.
They're able to roll it over, and this is what part of this is. Class B and C road funds, the transportation sales tax we receive is restricted to road-related projects, so even if you wanted to use it for something else, you can't. But road-related projects include sidewalks and road salt and stuff like that. They have very specific rules. And the same with the alcohol funds, because you see me rolling that forward. That can only be used for police equipment. The
Now go ahead and then
Okay.
I'll ask my.
The TRCC grants are reimbursement grants, so you're gonna see that come back in as revenue, but it's less than the original amount of the TRCC. We have been every quarter or every 6 months, I'm not sure which Emily is doing, we send receipts to the county and then they pay us their half or whatever they said that they would do.
Okay, so on the rollover, we have the Woodstock restrooms and the Woodstock Pavilion. So they have not been completed.
Right.
Do we know when they will be?
I don't know anything about when things are gonna be completed.
I can find that out if you wanna.
We
hold
can
on.
find out for
That'd be
you,
great.
but it is in their budget. They might be waiting to find out if on the next TRCC round, which is next spring, we can get money for that and then we can do a bigger project.
Didn't we get TRCC funds for
Yeah.
Woodstock?
No, we got it from
Riverview.
We only got it for Riverview, we didn't get for Woodstock.
And we can only have 3 projects at a time
Yeah.
and so we just didn't get any in this round. But we will have the others hopefully cleared off. We already have one of them, so now we're down to 2.
Have you been over to Woodstock? Cause I know they've done quite a bit of stuff.
I have not.
Yeah, they've
I
done
haven't
some-
heard any complaints,
Yeah,
so.
they've done, cause the only place I had us, they were going, oh, don't advertise this.
So
Yeah,
this.
we got pickleball courts.
Yeah.
I know you do, but
That is kinda cool.
I've been to those, but I haven't been to Woodstock.
So
Yeah.
this budget amendment, it receives and allocates some grants. It reconciles changes in the benefits due to health insurance changes because it's open enrollment when we're doing the budget. And in a small department, if somebody goes from single to family, that is an $18,000 change. And if somebody goes from family to single, it's an $18,000 change the other way.
Okay,
It's
so
just the difference in the cost of insurance.
okay, so I'm going backwards a little bit. So the Murray Theater renovation.
Uh-huh.
So that's $1,350,000.
Oh, I have that one actually in here.
Oh, good, okay.
That's my example of how things roll forward.
Okay, good. So I'll hold my.
Hold your question on that one.
Inquiry.
And then we have one new item to allocate from reserves. And I can tell you how we're paying for it, even though it's in reserves. Okay, so the theater project.
Can we hold off on the theater? I just have a question on number 19, the stormwater.
Uh-huh.
The Wagon Master storm drain upsized to 36-inch diameter, 50,000. Isn't Brad Reynolds going to pay for that, or is the city paying for that?
This is probably, I don't know.
Okay,
If he pays for it, it would be revenue.
right, okay. I just wanted to.
He's probably paying for everything inside and we may need a connector, cause it's only 50,000, so we may need
Right.
a connector in the street to wherever it needs to go.
Because I just remember the comment that he was gonna take care of that connection to the Salt Lake County
Yeah, he might be
building.
working out that, but there might be something else we're working out.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't know, they said, this is one of the projects we need to have rolled forward.
Okay.
And I trust them enough.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
To not go into a
I
ton
know
of
Russ is
detail.
listening, so he may text me.
He may. Okay, and it would be revenue from,
It's probably why we have so much traffic right now.
Oh, no.
if he gives us cash to do something.
Okay,
So, theater project, this is kind of how everything rolls. The fiscal '24 budget was $2 million in anticipation of a roll forward from fiscal '23. We rolled forward 3.1, we had the TRCC grant, and then we spent 3.7. So we have left in that budget $4.6 million.
And how much have we spent so far?
I don't know so far, I just have that amount in there, so
I can
we've
give
probably
you
spent
a lot.
about 7. You probably don't really wanna know,
Well, I really do want to know.
but I can tell you.
Because when citizens say, you know, we need to refurbish this and this and
That's
this.
a great thing, cause I'm telling you, it's cured me.
We
Where I
need
probably
to-
say
we need
something
to be able
different
to say,
because
well-
it's a lot of money.
I will let you know how much we have spent total on so far. I can do that, I don't have it in this
Okay.
particular, cause I left off the 4 years before this, and I didn't add up all of them, but last year we spent $3.7 million.
I'll tell you, Kim thinks we'll be over.
We're gonna be over the probably $11 million that we haven't had in the budget, so.
I don't know how much over, but he said we're finding.
Water.
Oh,
Well,
no, that's
obviously, if you
fixed,
looked at it,
but
there's
that
no
costs
back
a lot of
wall.
money.
Right.
The back wall, seriously, they had to replace the entire, it's open.
Yeah, there's no
There's
wall.
no wall.
Yeah.
It's a gated in now, and so it needed to be replaced and they didn't think it did. And they just find stuff and especially when there was really, when I went in and saw no foundation, I could not believe it on some of it. It was the
Yeah.
craziest thing I've ever seen.
I know, but times our citizens think that,
Oh,
oh, this looks good, so it's just let's just, refurbish it and it's not gonna cost much
and I'll
or.
tell you why you should know, because that's the same with me, is I've changed my mind on certain things. So I'm like, because now I know. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, there's certain things I think we could have done differently and got citizens' support. But at the time, I'd never been involved with anything like this, and it's been
I know.
very, very expensive.
Yeah.
The sign
It
looks cool,
does.
but now it's
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 covered up so
covered.
that
I
they
know it's
don't
covered.
ruin it.
Yeah, I was surprised they put it out for a minute, but
I was surprised they put it up, but storing it might have been a problem too.
Yeah, we
So-
thought it'd be easier than it is, so it's just a good
I
example.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, and we can also go into the mansion if you wanna try that one too. So,
Okay.
so this particular, but I'll tell you what that one is at some point. The theater project, this particular thing for CIP returned, because I can't do multi-year, returned 3.3 back into the reserves. The TRCC grant left was 1.3, and so this next project, there we go. So in 2025, what we're doing, I already anticipated that they needed to get started, so I already rolled forward 2 million like I did the year before. This amendment does the other 1,000,003, and then puts back in the TRCC with revenue as being the offset, not reserves. So that's kind of just what the theater project did in here. And there's, the same thing happened with the mansion, essentially. We have some TRCC, so it is split into 2 spaces. So that's kind of how the system works. It just, all this, the unspent budget gets put back into the reserves, we're just pulling it back out. So, now, we can discuss, if you want to discuss some of the details in here. Let me X out of here.
Okay, I have a question from reserves,
Okay.
new items.
Yes,
In the capital funds project,
yes.
allocate $1 million from reserves for the purchase of property on Vine Street.
Yes.
I was curious
Yeah,
about that.
that's the one I was.
Yeah, so what
What is that?
is that?
We're buying more parking lot for the theater.
Where's it
building right
located?
now? It's the,
It's the store behind it.
It's is it Realty?
Realty Advisor.
it's Realty Advisors.
150 East.
It's next to the
Vine.
Vine, between the Vine
The
and
gray
us.
building.
It's a great
Yeah.
building that
Uh-huh.
was originally the
Oh,
post
okay.
office in Murray, many,
Yes.
many years ago.
And we're basically paying for that with interest that we earned last year. Cause we earned $800,000 in above budget in the CIP fund, cause we have reserves in there or cash that we haven't spent yet. And then
Oh, nice.
How much
And
was-
then-
Brenda, do you have any idea what,
we're earning right
interest-
around 5%,
but what were we, how much did you say that figure again, 800 and?
800 and something thousand dollars.
Oh,
Oh,
I
actually, I have it
know.
written down.
Before when I looked it up, it was low. Cause interest was like 1% or whatever
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
2
it-
minutes, 2 minutes.
And then the rest of it, we're just getting, the pool, well, they were gonna do architecture fees for the parks last year. We spent some of that, a couple, like $10,000 to do a survey and do a plan and kind of take a look at things. And then I gave them another 500 to do the actual park, the actual pool design, which I don't know if they've started it or not. So the original one just went back into reserve, so we're using it for that building. So,
Okay, and where are we at, bottom line with reserves?
CIP, I don't ever calculate because they don't have any revenue. We have enough, I know I'm transferring enough, $6.5 million over from the general fund, so next year's allocation will probably be there.
But you wanna know about the regular reserve? Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
the,
What's our percentage?
the general fund reserves are gonna be sitting right around 27%.
Okay, okay.
I'm
That's
gonna,
what she
I
wanted to hear.
I have a whole thing at year end, and I will send you out an email to explain what I did and how much I transferred and how much I adjusted the budget. I just haven't done that yet. I'm waiting for the, okay, I'm just waiting for time. Anything else that sparked any questions?
No, just the building and then that sewer pipe there.
We'll find all out.
Okay, so you're on next, Brenda. We are going to discuss a resolution declaring the city's intention to reimburse itself for expenditures incurred in connection with financing all or a portion of capital improvements to the electrical system of the city and related improvements with proceeds of bonds that the city intends to issue in related matters. Brenda, 5 minutes?
Okay, so
5 minutes to read that, huh?
I'll give you an extra.
So basically, what happens when you bond is you can go back 60 days from when you bond and look at the hard costs of things that you intend to pay for with the bond. We may or may not, I think it's probably a 75-25 that we will eventually need to do some bonding in the power department, mostly because that $12 million we spent one winter ate a whole bunch of the reserves that they might have been able to use to do a bunch of the projects they need to do. We have those transformers coming that you have heard about. You've also heard about the substation that they need to shore up, rebuild, whatever the main one. It is possible that within the next 5 to 10 years, they will need another small substation somewhere else in the city. They
Is there
have-
property?
Well, we don't have any property, so that's another problem, but these are just all of the possible things that
Right.
could be out there. There are $500,000 pieces of equipment that sit outside in the snow during the winter.
Mhm.
There is transformers and wire and other things that sit outside in the winter that may be building a really big just shell of a building to keep them dry and out of the weather and to provide a little more security because wire gets stolen, not from us, but from other places. Somebody could figure out there's a bunch of wire sitting there. So there are a whole bunch of projects that need to get done. So what this is saying, because we're gonna write we have a down payment to do on those transformers that we're not gonna get for another 3 or 4 years, but they're gonna want $1.5 million. Well, if we can pay for them now, and then if we go out to bond, we wouldn't be able to reimburse ourselves if we chose to. Now, this says that we could bond up to $25 million. It doesn't commit us to do a single thing, except for if we bond, some of the expenses we incur now could be reimbursed by the bond, with bond funds.
Okay, so there's 20 million in 3 years that has been projected, right? 20
Well,
million for a
I
building?
projected that there might, that 20 million has been moved every year. They're not gonna do a building.
Okay,
That
that's,
$20 million is probably gonna become all these other projects.
That's what the bond is for, is to.
And that's what the bond would
Continuous
be for
maintenance
all these other projects.
What are the reserves at right now?
They're down around 12, 13, 14 million dollars. They were up in the 30s. So basically all of this is saying is if we bond, some of the expenses for these things could be reimbursed. We did this exact same thing for the theater before we started constructing the theater. And we never did a bond because we determined we didn't need to. And everything's fine.
so why do it at all then?
Why do this?
Yeah,
Just in case we decide that, because we're gonna start paying for some hard costs for some of these projects, that we may decide to include with the bond. And I would like to have the choice to reimburse ourselves for the $1.5 million we're gonna send to the transformer company at some future point if we bond, and then replenish our reserves.
will that save us any money?
It could, I mean, not now, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I'm still trying to,
So are you, Brenda, me too, are you saying that if we don't do it now, then we can't reimburse ourselves for what we're doing now?
Yeah, we could only go back 60
We could only
days,
go back, so, how many days?
60.
So if we bond later, we can't get any of that money back.
So we might bond in 3 years when it fits the city and interest rates potentially could be better.
Yeah. And
But
you,
if it's the city, interest rates could be better, we're closer to having the building done, we know we can spend all the money within the 5 years that's required, we know we can spend a certain amount within the arbitrage rules, all of that stuff. Right now, we're just planning all of this stuff, trying to figure out,
Put ourselves on the market to see if.
and we're planning the projects. We're trying to figure out how much that substation is really gonna cost and engineer it and do all of that stuff. And so this is just saying, if we bond, we don't have to bond, but if we bond, I can reimburse some of these costs.
so it's not committing to bonding,
Nope.
it's not,
Nope.
okay, I just wanna be
No
really
commitment to
clear about
bonding.
that.
and you would go to them.
I was gonna say, you're gonna come to us if we
To get a-
bond.
Well, yeah, I can't do
Oh,
anything
yeah.
without you guys.
That's what I thought.
I'll
The
just
new guy on
say,
the block.
this is just one of those legal hoops you jump through if you wanna use more than 60 days old stuff.
Okay.
I may not, but we may.
Could you do like the theater and not make us?
Okay, so now we're on discussion
We didn't
item
bond,
number 3, resolution amending the Murray City Council policy and procedure. Councilmember Paul Pickett has 10 minutes.
Thank you. This request comes because there was a feeling there that we were obligated to read email comments sent to us out loud during a council meeting. And I had some concerns about having to read some of these comments during the council meeting. I would rather they be added to the record of the meeting rather than obligate us to read them. However, we should be allowed to read them if we feel like they're pertinent to what we're discussing at the moment. As a result of that, I asked Jennifer to make some changes to our council policy, and you see those changes in what is page 28 of there. There's some red lines struck out. Jennifer, would you like to maybe explain those lines?
Yeah, the lines just say, basically, let's see. As to email comments, if unable to attend the council meeting in person, it's just basically saying we will read them if they can attend, and it's just taking that part out. So in other words, you guys can still read emails that you receive if you feel they're pertinent, but it doesn't require you guys or staff to read those email comments. Of course, if someone wants added to the record, we'll do that, but the only things that are stricken is where it says we will read those into the record. It talks about they have to be 300 words. Again, reading emails just gets technical depending on how fast somebody reads, depending on how slow somebody reads. The tone can come out different. So I think that overall this is a good change.
And that's what I learned at the ULCT conference with the attorney from Harriman, the good, the bad, and the legal. And we talked about reading emails at council meetings. And he basically just said, don't. Because it's the tone of the voice that's reading that email could not portray exactly how that person felt while that person was sending that email or typing that email. So he just kind of said, as I go through my thing,
So
it
emails
just
are
says,
welcome.
don't.
We still have the city council email address. We'll still respond
Yeah.
to those like we have been.
Right.
None of that's changing. The only thing that's changing is where it says we will read those into the record.
Yep, I had a concern by a resident who called me today and said, does that mean we can't email comments in there? But it would be very clear that we welcome email comments.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
welcome them,
Yes.
and we will add them to the record of that meeting. We just don't wanna be obligated to read them, that's all.
This might be a dumb question, but hey, I'm gonna ask it anyway. We're redlining the line that says email comments will be forwarded to council members before the meeting. Why are we redlining that?
Because it has the word email in it.
Okay.
But we do not have to redline that.
Okay, so I was like, I can see us redlining the before the meeting.
No, I get it. That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with you.
I
but
searched
we
the word
should-
email and anything that came up.
So just
So we'll add that back in.
So add that back in.
Add that back
Email
in, yeah.
comments will be forwarded to the council members before the meeting. Yeah, there's no reason to.
No, you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. Good catch.
Any concerns from anybody who wanna discuss this?
No.
No?
No, I think it
I think
makes
it's great.
sense.
Okay, that's all I have to say about it then.
Okay, so now we're on to item number 4, American Public Power Association Conference Report by Councilwoman Rosalba Dominguez, 10 minutes or however long.
And of course. Okay. So the tone, I don't know if you got this at APPA, the tone of the conference was, we'll see what happens with the new administration. Overall, so it was a very different tone compared to last year. The year before, which was, they were very certain about legislation coming from the feds. Of course, there was continuous, conversations to apply for grants and federal funding, for installing, charger stations. We did attend the same meeting, and that was interesting in the sense of, they said, look at your city's infrastructure in terms of where you can put these powers or these charging stations, because your infrastructure may not be able to hold capacity everywhere because you'll have to rebuild. So that in itself is a cost. And they just kept implementing that, or emphasizing that over that conference. Some of the sessions, I'm looking here. Some of the sessions that I did go to, there was a lot of conversations about bonding and bonding with hydrogen gas, so I thought that was interesting. Especially with the conversations that we're having here. I went into, I went into a session where, I'm trying to remember the name, where they were talking about batteries and implementing batteries for solar or storing power within a city, and how that is kind of the conversation that's happening right now within the industry and storage and storing power. I forget what that, I'm gonna say it was Caterpillar? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they're kind of on the forefront of batteries.
Of batteries storage. Sorry, I left all my other notes at home. AI or utility, and how they're using AI to find rates and helping with kind of where that is, how AI is coming into the playing field within power. Of course, we went to the reception for the Navajo Nation, and that was pretty wonderful. It was really cool.
Awesome.
Did we ever get the second plaque?
Oh, they got one,
No.
okay.
Also, that's
I thought you
probably-
guys had it.
Is it there? That one?
No.
No, the second plaque never came.
Oh, it didn't come?
I thought you guys had it.
No, we had the one and they were gonna send another one for us, so.
There was one for the power
Oh.
department, not one for the city.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think.
Okay.
I'm trying. Go
Did
ahead.
you go anything on did you see anything on elective pay
Elective pay?
from the IRA?
Hmm.
Okay. We went to that meeting at ULCT about elective pay. It's where we get reimbursed for our clean energy projects up to somewhere between 30 to 70% if it qualifies.
Yeah.
If it qualifies under certain federal guidelines. Yeah.
Hey, I like this. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, and it was interesting, I'm looking at here now, forecasting the future of public power. That was pretty interesting in the sense that there's a lot of I think even the general session that I went to, that was pretty awesome to see what other cities are doing in other parts of the country and how Nebraska is kind of like Texas, but does oversee a lot of the power. I can't remember what city it was. But just some of the innovations that they have in terms of how they're, I can't even remember. I apologize, I left my notes at home.
It's been a while, so.
Yeah, I know. I will continue on that.
It was a good conference.
Okay, so now we're on to discussion number 5. Utah Associated Municipal Power System Conference Report. We'll start with Diane, Paul, and then myself.
Okay, I'll get started. We all
Okay.
attended everything. I mean, the
Oh,
same.
yeah, yeah.
Because the UAMS conference, that's the way they work it.
Yeah.
Everybody has general sessions basically.
Yeah.
So we all went to each of them, effective ways to communicate the value of public power. And that was, moderator was Mark Carabello from the Exoro Group. The speakers were from APPA, from Lassen Municipal Utility District, from the city of St. George and the city of Logan. And it was all it was interesting to hear about those. Then there was Powering Prosperity, the role of finance. I don't remember much about that, so I think I was awake.
There was Diet Coke there.
It was just kind of like a financial checkup for cities.
I know, that's, I mean, you know how that can be, or-
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's see how cities are getting it done. We had UAMS representative, Lehigh City, Hurricane City and Payson City. Then we had a Denim and Diamond banquet dinner. Anyway, we all went to the same thing, so, we all probably got something different out of it. We did federal policy briefing. Pursuit of long-term power supply. And we heard from Florida, what they're doing there, and the Salt River Project and Truckee Donner, PUD. Batteries and beyond, that was interesting, to hear what Heber Light and Power is doing, and Los Angeles Department, Water and Power, and R Plus Energies. I took a bunch of notes on that, but you don't wanna be bored with that, because that's my interest. It was good. Batteries and beyond, and I was really pleased that they were providing more information on batteries and alternative different energy sources. That, to me, they didn't used to do that, and they're doing it more, and that was really encouraging from my perspective. Talked about power pool modernization, high voltage players, things like that are interesting. They had their board service award, and these are also things that we need to have some sense about, since we do, we really are the board for the power company. And it's complicated and expensive and so worth it, because we, provide power to most of our citizens, and it's a very, very important resource, and I really value it, so. That's my report.
Okay, then we'll go to Paul.
I'll focus on two of the presentations, which one was a financial presentation that really struck me. And it caught my attention because it began with that cartoon. Looks like a mayor and a director of power talking, and one says to the other, we're in good shape financially. And the mayor goes, are we really? And the financial director says, yeah, nobody understands financial system.
Is that where you walked out? I remember you walking out going,
I went to this little school called Weaver State, not BYU, so we do that.
All right, so then it just sort of went over the finances, some of the things that we should be looking at that at our municipal power things. Yeah, things like rate of return, cash flow, debt coverage ratio, age of systems, where are we in replacement, what are we in the savings of the money for that? And it just opened up a million questions, and now when Brenda talks, I'll be paying a little bit closer attention than before. So I really like that presentation. The other presentation that I like is the communication with the people. I think there are 3 different utilities that talked about that, and they were talking like they had just discovered water. And as they shared those things, I thought, Murray Power does most of these things. Yeah. In fact, I kept turning to Greg going, you guys do this, right? He goes, yeah, you guys do this, right? You do this, right? So I was really impressed out of that presentation at how prepared Murray Power is for communicating everything that they do. So I was impressed. Thank you. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, to wind it up, I got lost. What day was, the first day was the 19th. I was just like, okay, it's a brag fest for all the cities. But the next day is where I really got into the meat of the whole conference. And one of the conference report was that we need to have other reliable systems supplied, like nuclear, combined cycle natural gas, turbines, nuclear, geothermal, solar storage, and wind. And the communication, which Paul was just talking about, strategies call upon other cities that might have the similar problems. And UAMP's vision is to continue to give affordable power. And personally, the personnel in Murray City's power is the heartbeat of our power. And so the other one was staying current, UAMP's power pool modernization. I would love to meet with Greg and Matt and look at the big screen at the power station. That I would really like to do that. And we, as council members, we need to remember our job is very clear. We need to make sure the lights are on, we control the costs, clean, dispatchable power, and serve our communities. The last gentleman was phenomenal. His name was Barry Molan. He was the executive director for California Municipal Utility System. He was phenomenal. He kind of just let it all out. He didn't care because he was retiring.
That's what he said.
And
I can finally say what I think.
He did. And he kind of took everything as a concert. And he said, what is more important? The person that's singing? Is it the lead guitar person? Is it the drummer? Is it the lights? Is it the venue? Is it the vendors? Or is it the people watching the performance? And he says, when we think about a rock concert, what's important? The answer to who's the most important person at a concert is it's everyone. We need a strong all-around team, likewise, as we examine solutions to address climate change. Everyone must work together using all the options to achieve the highest impact at the lowest cost. And then I gave a copy to Jennifer, so if you guys ever want to, this is phenomenal material. I went and got one for the mayor and I think Doug, I can't remember. But anyways, some people think the best way to cut carbon dioxide emission is to generate power with solar and wind energy and store it with lithium-ion batteries like the ones in our cell phones. But that is just one part of the solution. To address climate change the right way is to consider all reasonable opportunities for generating and storing clean electricity. And then you go on, he says, we cannot rely on solar and wind because sometimes they're on and sometimes they're off. He just basically just let it, he did not hold back. This is our time, sorry. And so anyways, he also was talking about the energy transition requires investing in energy storage of all kind. We need to keep our minds open to a variety of options, including new ones we may not know yet. And there's one, and it's called closed loop pump storage hydropower system, which is really interesting because it takes the solar panels and it stores all the energy up and moves the water up the hill or the mountain or whatever. And then at nighttime when everybody's getting their ACs going, the water will go down, which will generate power. I thought that was, I was like, great, I love it, that's perfect, let's get going on that. Anyways, the climate solution concept, all solutions are important. The drummer, the lead guitar, the venue, the people that are there, everyone is important, and we have to remember that. Everything, we need to look at everything. And the last thing I would like to report, that the Bacon Brothers are coming to Lehigh on September 28th. They made
I saw
that
that.
announcement also at the conference.
Hey Pam,
Yes,
can I have a second?
sure, go right ahead.
Sorry, no, thank you.
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Okay, so a few things, I have my notes, I realize I brought this for a reason. So, there is a transformer shortage, which I know that we all know that. Again, they did talk a lot about, let's see, that even manufacturers are in the process of having to use certain steel in the industry and that it's not readily available, so that's some of the why there's shortages. Some of the key issues is that Dems are focused on transmission policy because of the cost of transmission and updating transmission. And that the grid needs to be a little bit more resilient within that. This was kind of emphasized, I think, in both general sessions, is the labor force is kind of dying in terms of who's working in the industry, and that investments should be into trade schools and getting people in to the industry because the boomers are retiring, as we know. So again, EVs can provide different opportunities and just make sure that we have a readiness plan that was emphasized in that. Caterpillar is who I was talking about. And then, also to be flexible with Gen Zers was one of the biggest comments in the conference. And also allow, if moms can continue to work, to support them in working from home, to retain your staff as much as possible. So that was emphasized in the general session, that's what I got. But yeah, so I just wanted to add
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I think the last couple of conferences were really great.
Yeah,
I thought, and I
I'm
can't.
glad you guys all went to it.
Yeah,
That's
and
a good
then
one.
the ULCT conference was phenomenal also. I thought it was wonderful, and we'll report on that. I'm looking at the first Tuesday of October, that the four of us, that we will report at that time. So we're not doing it on the 17th or whatever, so we're gonna do it the first thing
That's
Of
good.
of October, okay? All right, well, if there is no other questions for any of us, or for Brenda, or for the mayor, then I will adjourn this session. Thank you. good evening, everyone, to the council meeting for September 10th, 2024. I'd like to welcome everyone out. It looks like all council members are here. Brooke is absent, so Jennifer, please remind me to turn it over to you for voting. Thank you. GL's here, Mayor's here. Thank you. The first thing we are going to be doing is, also turn off your cell phones. If you need to take a phone call, please step out in the hallway to take that message or that phone call. The first thing we are going to be doing is our Pledge of Allegiance, and I've asked Mrs. Jan Cox, who is on the Tree Shade Commission. Thank you, Jan. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate you doing this for me. Okay, the next item of business we have is the approval of minutes. Are there any questions or comments, corrections on the following minutes for council meeting July 23rd, 2024, council meeting August 6th, 2024? Are there any corrections or comments or anything like that from the council? I hear none, so I will take a motion.
I will move to approve the minutes for the meetings July 23rd, 2024 and August 6th, 2024.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second, and I will turn that now over to Jennifer. Thank you, Paul. Jennifer will do the roll call. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, perfect. That went very smoothly. Okay. Love this. Okay, our next one, I am so excited for this. I just love when this comes every year. We have the presentation of the 2024 Jim and Jean Hendrickson's Beautification Awards. Matt Erklins and the Shade Tree Commission is presenting. We should clap, that's right, we should clap. Yes, yes. Hard work and a lot of volunteering of hours.
Yes, probably. There it is. Okay, thank you, council, for your time. I'm pleased to announce the Jim and Jean Hendrickson Beautification Awards. It's the 40th anniversary of this, and something we really enjoy doing as a commission, and it's always fun to jump in the truck and drive around looking at beautiful properties. I would like to introduce my new Shade Tree Commission members. I have Jan Cox with District 2, Marshall Smith with District 4, and then Alex Matro with District 5. And for the award winners that are present here, when your name is announced, if you're here, please come up and accept an award. Thank you. I'll turn the time over to Jan. Yep, number 1. Do you want to talk to the microphone?
The District 1 winner is the Johnson family, 845 West Germania Avenue. All in there here to accept their award. Oh, here's your pictures that they're showing now, and here's your plaque. A beautiful yard.
Thank you.
Thank you. The District 2 winners is, I hope I pronounce it correctly, the Deppie family at 6482 South, 520 West. Oh, and this, oh, never mind.
Thank
From District 3 at 4520 South Atwood Boulevard, chosen for their variety and their different scaping and things like that. Kind of hidden away, almost didn't find it, but gladly you get to see it with us. The Kesemakis residents, please come up. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay, for District 4, the Eskelson residents, that's at 6016 South and 1430 East. Are they here? I can take that to them. Okay.
I don't think they're here.
Beautiful house, beautiful landscape. So, thank you. Okay.
And to wrap up our last of our district winners, we've got a couple more after this, but at 752 East Southwood Drive, we've got the Shepherds, if you're here today. Please go ahead and come up. Again, chosen for a different combination of landscaping, and just every single time I see them out in their yard, they're my neighbors, so thank you.
Cute.
Yes.
And for the Living Park Strip, it's the Warnock residents, 882 West Germania. Right there to accept. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Perfect. And this one's going to go out to our Xeriscape winners. The criteria for this one is to have a lawn that is not a traditional lawn, but one that is mostly kind of desert savvy, friendly, and non-traditional lawns. And the winner for that are going to be the Fulmers. Are you here today, Fulmers? Please come on up. Excellent work. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
And multifamily award goes to the Miller Estates on the corner over there. That's 4929 South Lake Pines Drive.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Looks great. Okay, and commercial business enterprise award goes to Roderick Enterprises. Are they there? Right there, yes. Looks great. And you've been a part of Murray for a long time.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Perfect, which leads us to our citywide Mayor's Awards. This one goes out to the property that we thought was the most well-maintained, most variety. Again, we just universally drove up to it and realized how great it was and how good of a job they did. And honestly, the photo doesn't quite do it justice. If you've got a chance, go ahead and take a look at it. That property is at 4648 South, 345 East, and presented by Mayor Hales himself. That would again be the Kesemakis. Please come on up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that concludes our presentation.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can I say something real quick? These guys? I just want to give a big shout out to the Shade Tree Commission and Matt. They only have 3 people on their commission and they're supposed to have 5. And we had 5 for about, 85 years? I'm kidding. But they really were on a long, long time. And now we have 3 brand-new ones. So we appreciate all you've done, and we appreciate everyone that participated, and your hearts are absolutely beautiful. And so thank you for being a part of Murray City, and thanks for all the Shade Tree and Matt, all you've done. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys on the Shade Tree Commission. You're awesome. So we really appreciate it. And you made really good choices. They're beautiful properties. So thanks.
Thank you, everyone. You may stay and listen to the rest of our meeting, or you can go and have some lovely dinner. But it's up to you. You won't hurt our feelings if you leave. But thank you, everyone. We really appreciate all your time and effort that you give for the city. And thank you for keeping your neighborhoods so pretty. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, so now we're on special recognition, and I'm going to turn this time over to Mayor Hales, who will read the joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City, Utah, declaring September 2024 as National Senior Center Month. Mayor Hales will be presenting. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
You're good. Just had to do it back. Thank you. Wow, they took you up on that. They all left. All right. We only have 2 hours left. Come on back. So anyway, thank you. We appreciate everyone. And you know, Matt, you still here? Yeah, Matt, let me tell you, just stand up for a second, Matt, for me. Just 1 minute. Stand up real quick. This is the guy who's in charge of putting up our 70-foot Christmas tree. And so he deserves a big applause. What he doesn't know, I'm putting it up October 15th this year. No, I'm kidding, Matt. But we are going to put it up about the middle of November. When you pay money for a tree like that, you don't put it up for a month. You put it up. And Matt knows I am obsessed, and everyone, I shouldn't even say them because they tease me already, but I love that feeling. And I've loved Christmas all my life, but not like this. When you have residents and people just come all over and see the tree. And Matt did it was our first year last year, and now it's been stored away, and you just do a great job. I know Matt, I tease him all the time and say, Matt asked me to recognize him. You know, he would never do that, never. But just a big thanks for all you do on everything you do over there, so we appreciate it. Thank you. Greg, you have a great employee there. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm going to face you. Sorry, this is a resolution, and I think I'm going to switch mics. Is anyone here from the senior center that's representing the senior center here? No, I thought there would be. Usually they come and are here. Maybe they didn't know we were doing this, but I'm going to read this right now. So this is a joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City, Utah, declaring September 2024 as National Senior Center Month. Whereas older Americans, and that's me, are significant members of our society, investing their wisdom and experience to help enrich and strengthen our community. And whereas the Murray City Senior Rec Center has acted as a catalyst for mobilizing the creativity, energy, vitality, and commitment of the older residents of Murray City, Utah. And whereas, though the wide array of services, programs, and activities senior centers empower older citizens of Murray to contribute to their own health and well-being and the health and well-being of others and other fellow citizens of all ages. And whereas Murray Senior Rec Center has been a community partner in ensuring that older adults in our community are able to stay connected, safe, and healthy. Whereas the senior centers throughout the state affirm the dignity, self-worth, independence of older persons by facilitating their decisions and actions, tapping their experiences, skills, and knowledge, and enabling their continued contributions to the community. Now be it resolved that the mayor and municipal, I'm going to wait for that part because you guys are going to do your vote. So after your vote, I'll finish that part. And just to say real quick, all of you have been involved, which is awesome. Rosalba was over there the other day. But it is such a wonderful thing. Our Senior Rec Center is just a phenomenal place. It's a place where really, it's amazing. You see people there from ages 50 on up to like, we had a young lady that was like 92, sharp, and just, they love that place. And they can have, they have a meal there usually every day, and we have our own chef who is amazing, Omar. He is phenomenal. And Corey runs a great program over there, and Corey and his staff. So we just wanted to be able to bring this resolution to you, and if you approve it, then I'll finish that last part.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to adopt the joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City, Utah, declaring September 2024 as National Senior Center Month. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt the resolution of the mayor and the municipal council of Murray City, Utah, declaring September 2024 as National Senior Center Month.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
And I have a motion by Councilwoman Turner and a second by Councilmember Paul Pickett. Jennifer?
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cutter?
Aye.
Okay, now be it resolved that the mayor and the municipal council of Murray City do hereby proclaim September 2024 as National Senior Center Month and call upon all citizens to recognize the special contributions of the senior center participants and the special efforts of the staff and volunteers who work every day to enhance the well-being of the older citizens of our community. Passed and approved and adopted by the mayor and the Murray City Municipal Council today, the 10th of September, 2024. And again, a big thanks, we've said it in here, but we have so many volunteers that are over there, and they are amazing. They put in a lot of hours. So again, thank you for passing this.
I would like to make a comment.
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
So my husband Charles, who is right there, plays pickleball at the senior center 3 times a week. And he tells me that there's a couple of seniors that play with him that are in their mid-90s. So, I mean, they're just amazing, amazing people. And the center is so welcoming, and I've been told by citizens that they've been to other senior centers, and it's not like ours. Ours is just an amazing senior center. We're really, really lucky to have it as part of our community. So, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council.
Okay, is there any other comments for the mayor or for the seniors? Okay, thank you. And thank you for all the hard workers over there. Okay, at this time, we are going to do citizen comments. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and fill out the required form that Patty has. Could you just wait 1 second? I just want to take care of one little bit of business. Thank you. And then fill out the required form that Patty has on a clipboard. But right now, a young man has stepped into the council office, into the council room, and he is a scout. Could we have you come forward and tell us a little bit of what unit you belong to? And yeah, please, you have 3 minutes. Thank you for being here.
I'm just here for a merit badge. I need to attend a city council meeting. I'm a part of Troop 197.
Is that here locally in Murray, or have you joined with other cities? And
It's we meet in Murray, but there's some scouts from Conwood Heights and stuff. But yeah.
well, thank you for coming. We really appreciate you coming. Thank you so very much. Okay, now we'll go ahead with those comments for 3 minutes and then step to the microphone and state your name, and Patty has the clipboard. So whoever wants to come first, go ahead.
My name's Catherine Litchfield. I live in Murray City. I'm here because I love the city. I love how its citizens care about what we've seen, the gardens, the sidewalks, the fences, the plantings. I'm pro that. But I want to bring to the attention of the council my feelings that I enjoy that there we have the balance of power in this city, just like in the United States government, we have zoning and the city council and the mayor and the citizen outreach. And with regard to fences, and there's a fence code amendment coming up, and I have tried to add to this and ask that these considerations be that traditionally, the sidewalks and the fences, the sidewalks, they evolve with the city. There's a planning process for where there will be sidewalks. And if you look around the city, you will see there are probably 80% non-conforming sidewalks. They're not like the pictures that we saw tonight. There are, and they've been done over time in many, many ways, up until months ago, weeks ago, days ago. And they're all different. There are 6-foot sidewalks, 3-foot sidewalks, fences against sidewalks at 6 feet, fences against sidewalks at 3 feet. I've spent several long times talking with the Streets Commission, and he says you have the good picture, and I have about 50 photos of all the conditions that I have viewed, and not one of them is the same, not one of them is uniform. So the city has decided that their process in their code is, we'll discuss fences. If a fence falls down, in the code it says it shall not be rebuilt if it's non-conforming. Therefore, gradually over time, those fences go away. The other way things change is for a process to go through the city through the citizens want a sidewalk, the citizens want to know what their curb is going to look like. So however that's generated, whether by city planning or by the citizens, by need, by safety needs, by travel needs, that plan is made, it's submitted through the planning commission, through the council, it goes, and it actually goes in engineering where they cannot go forward on any plan without investigating gas, Comcast, everything that crosses that sidewalk. They actually will put a sidewalk over a gas line. And there's just a huge process. And I just want to support that process and that citizens be allowed to continue to participate in that process. And that the city not jump the fence to prosecute a neighbor to remove anything by neighbor complaint. I think that the city should put in their code that they have the power to keep their power to direct the process and not have it be directed by single neighbors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And make sure you get the clipboard from Patty. Thank you.
And I'll get those exhibits, those visuals to you as soon as I technically can get this to go to you. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Tanner. I am the president of Dice Media Group LLC, a Utah-based company. I've provided each of you a copy of the presentation of my contact information to assist you in this crucial decision-making process. What I'm here to address is the shortage of housing inside Murray City. I was made more and more aware of this just by sitting in Starbucks, going to a restaurant, whatever. Those people that work 40 to 60 hours a week who cannot afford a house, a home. All they really want is someplace to live. Increased housing availability and affordability is a possibility, and we can achieve this by banning short-term rentals that can significantly increase long-term housing availability. Converting short-term rentals units back into long-term rentals will help stabilize the market. We can also do this this will also help preservation of neighborhood character. We do not need transient people moving in and out of our neighborhood who we do not know, who we cannot contact, who will not go to our churches, who will not attend city council meetings. We need to it will reduce noise and congestion. It will increase economic stability for local residents and focus on sustainable tourism. I'll go through each one of these points in a little bit more detail because we are on limited time. I realize the council will not be addressing this until next week. Short-term rentals often introduce transient visitors, disrupting the stability of residential neighborhoods. By banning these rentals, we can maintain integrity of these communities of our own areas. Cities like Barcelona and New York have successfully preserved their residential character through similar restrictions. According to a report by the Barcelona City Council, the regulations have reduced the number of unlicensed short-term rentals by 95%, helping restore community bonds. Economic stability in local residents. The proliferation of short-term rentals can drive up property values. As a matter of fact, they use apps to collude with each other in violation of trade law, anti-trade law. By banning these rentals, we can ensure that these houses remain available to our community members. We have many apartment buildings which have 5, 10 apartments available in buildings of 100 just to hold for Airbnb. We cannot afford this anymore. This is called rent seeking, and this is not an availability that we can afford. By not having housing available, it means that we're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 people jammed into one little apartment. My apartment's 234 square feet. I choose this, but I choose it for a reason, because I can afford an apartment, but many people cannot. And as a single person, you have to make $3,000 or $4,000 to live in the apartment that I live in, because you need to have 3 times the income, and we can't afford that anymore. The focus of the sustainable alternatives is important because it's like our free money, and one of the best things that we have going is our farmers market. And by the way, it's banging over there. I took pictures and I'd love to show them, but our technical ability is not with us today. I hope to show this to you in the future. My name is Michael Tanner. I'm the president of Dice Media Group. I've been on newspapers and radio around here. Some people and some city councilors say, please put me on the radio, please put me on the radio. But when I was in COVID, they told me to go away. And our governor does earn his last name every day sometimes. And I'd like to see what we can do to make this a better place. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And make sure you go over to Patty and grab the clipboard from her. Okay. Anyone else for citizen comments? Okay, we will close citizen comments and we will go on to the consent agenda. Mayor Hales is going to be presenting a consideration confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Margaret Horton. I was going to say Mildred Horton, but you're not. To the History Advisory Board for a partial term beginning August 2024 through August 2026. Mayor? Yeah, this. Can I get it back? No. Oh, thank you.
This is Margaret Horton, who's lived in Murray a long time. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Mildred, right, is your mother-in-law?
Yes.
Yes, just want to make sure. Mildred, most everyone knows Mildred, so give her our love. And so anyways, as Pam said, that we, I apologize, I have to take Pam's because I don't know where I put mine. But anyway, so it will be for, Pam, when is that? When's the dates again? I apologize.
August 2024 to August 2026.
Thanks, you're so nice to run that to me. I took Pam's and you're a neat writer, I'll tell you.
No.
I'm impressed. Okay, so we interviewed Margaret last month, and let me tell you, she's a great person. She's been heavily involved with Murray City, and so we are really excited to have her be a part of our History Advisory Board. And we just really had, I don't know if you feel the same way, but when we visited, it was just a fun conversation, and she knew a lot of people and is very familiar with this and is excited to serve the city of Murray. So we're excited to present Margaret Horton to be appointed to the History Advisory Board August 2024 through August 26. Margaret's filling Bryce Chatwin's position on the board, and so that's why it'll just be for the 2 years. Margaret, I'm here to tell you it'll probably be a lot longer than that if you're willing to do it. But anyway, So without any further ado, we'll turn that back over to the council for confirmation.
Thank you. Okay, is there any, okay, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Margaret Horton to the History Advisory Board for a partial term beginning August 2024 through August 2026.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Council. Okay, Jennifer?
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye. And thank you for doing this.
You're
welcome. Thank you. No.
Okay.
I
I
don't know what
love
to say.
All right,
She
thank
doesn't-
thank
she
you,
doesn't-
Margaret, we
thank you.
appreciate it, absolutely, thank you.
I'm sorry, he took my cheat sheet and I can't go without it. Okay, now I'm all set, so we're done with that. Yeah, we'll flip it over. Okay, now we'll have public hearing. First one is consider an ordinance relating to land use amends the general plan from office to low-density residential and amends the zoning map from G-O, general office, to R-1-8, low-density single-family for the property located at 5172 South 935 East Murray City, and Zachary Smallwood will be present. Good evening, Zach.
Good evening. I hope you all are doing very well this evening.
We are.
Awesome. So this is a request from Yubaraj Sapkota for a general plan from office to low-density residential and a zone map amendment for 5172 935 East from, I apologize, there we go, let's go back. From GO, which is general office, to R18, which is residential, low-density, single-family. The property is located just east of 9th East and a little bit north of 5600 South. And like I mentioned, it's in the GO zone, so it would require a rezone if they want to build a single-family home here. So the general plan allows for flexibility in its implementation. So, you know, when certain aspects arise, you can, the city council may change the designations of land use, future land use types. This property, I've been working on this property since probably 2019. It was actually a little bit narrower. It probably came to about here. And it was owned as part of this little office building here. And they wanted to widen that a little bit and build a single-family home for a family member. And then I never heard anything again until just 2024, so about 5 years almost. And it looks like they had sold the property and wanted to go ahead and so this new applicant purchased the property and wanted to do the same thing. So that's why we are here this evening. Zoning standards, generally in the GO, single-family lots are not allowed. Heights are 30 feet, front and rear yard setbacks are 20 feet. Side yard setbacks are none unless it's next to a residential zone, and then 20 feet. And then parking is 4 stalls per 1,000 square feet, roughly. In the R18 zone, it's an 8,000 square foot minimum lot. Height is 35 feet. Front and rear setbacks are 25 feet. The side yard setbacks are a minimum of 8 for a total of 20 on both sides, and 2 spaces per dwelling on the parking. These are very different zones, obviously. The GO allows for professional office types, you know, medical office, architectural, things like that. And then the R18 zone includes largely just single-family detached dwellings. You can have things like cemeteries and libraries, but those are through conditional uses. So these are the findings here. General plan, like I mentioned, provides for flexibility in its implementation. This will allow for greater cohesion with the neighboring residential uses. And the proposed zone map amendment has been considered based on the characteristics of the site and its surrounding area. And staff believes the potential impacts of the change can be managed with the densities and uses allowed. And the proposed zone map amendment conforms to important goals and objectives in the 2017 general plan, as stated in your packet there. And the Planning Commission held a public hearing on June 6th and voted 6-0 to forward a recommendation of approval. So we are asking that the Planning Commission and staff are recommending that the City Council approve the ordinance amending the general plan, future land use map, and the zone map from GO to R18. Any questions I can answer right now?
Is the applicant here
I
for
don't
this?
think
Okay.
so.
All right, so we need to turn it over to public comment. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing that there's no public comment, we'll close the public comment. Do we have any questions for Zach? Actions or anything?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I just
Go
want
right
to
ahead.
comment how nice it is to see going from a general office to a residential, another house being built. I like that. It feels nice.
This is my district and the neighborhood, this would just be a compliment, and I know that business, and so I know they've been selling it, trying to sell that lot for a while, so, yeah, this is great.
Okay, thank you. So if there's no other comments or public comments been closed, I will take a motion on this item.
I will make a motion to adopt the ordinance relating to land use, amends the general plan from office to low-density residential, and amends the zoning map from G-O general office to R-1-8 low-density single-family for the property located at 5172 South, 935 East, Murray City.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Turner. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
I have a second by Councilwoman Dominguez. Jennifer?
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, if the applicant's not here, I was just going to say thank you. Okay, now we're on to item, public hearing number 2, consider an ordinance relating to land use amends the zoning map from A1 agriculture to R-1-8, single-family low density for the property located at 5712 South 800 West, Murray City, and David Rogers, his first one.
Hi, Council. Thanks for the opportunity to be here today. So this is an application brought forth by Brent and Lucinda Milne to amend the zone map from A1 agricultural to R-1-8 single-family low-density residential at 5712, whereas our last one was 5172, so that's kind of funny. 5712 South, 800 West. So this is a site that's just over an acre. As you can see up there, the lot line currently goes through a tennis court, and so this rezone is anticipated ahead of a future lot line adjustment and some potential infill development here for a flag lot in the future. And we want to make sure that none of our parcels are in different zones, that the zone doesn't come across, cross boundaries. So the current standards for the A1 is a 1 acre minimum lot size. The height is 35 feet or 2.5 stories, 30 foot for the front setback, 25 feet for the rear setback, 10 feet for the side yard setbacks, 20 feet on a corner lot, and 2 parking spaces for each single-family dwelling unit. And the R-1-8 standards are very similar. It's an 8,000 square foot minimum lot size. The heights are the same. The front yard is 25 feet. The rear yard is 25 feet. The side yard setbacks are a minimum of 8 for a total of 20. Corner yard setback is 20, and then parking is the same, 2 parking spaces for each single-family dwelling unit. So for the findings, as Zach mentioned, the general plan provides for flexibility in implementation and execution of the goals and policies based on different circumstances. The proposed zone map amendment from A1 to R18 has been considered based on the characteristics and site of the surrounding area, and the potential impacts of that change can be managed within the densities and uses allowed by the R18 zone. The proposed zone map amendment conforms to important goals and objectives of the 2017 Murray City General Plan and will permit the appropriate use of the property. And the Murray City Planning Commission held a public hearing on June 6th, 2024, and voted 6-0 to forward a positive recommendation to the City Council. And so with all of that in mind, the Murray City Planning Commission and staff recommend that the City Council approve the requested amendment to the zone map designation of the property located at 5712 South, 800 West, from A1 agricultural to R18 single-family low density as described in your packets, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Is the applicant here today?
I don't believe so.
Would you like to come up here, Ms. Mill, and make a comment? Or you- Well, you know where I live. True. Okay, so we will open this to public comment. And seeing there is none, we will close public comment. And we now will turn it over to the council. And council, do you have any concerns or questions or anything?
No.
If not, then I will take a motion.
I move that we approve land use amend, an ordinance relating to land use amends the zoning map from A1 agriculture to R18 single-family low density for the property located at 5712 South, 800 West, Murray City.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? If not, I will take a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilwoman Dominguez and a second by Councilmember Adam Hawk, and we will do a roll call. Jennifer?
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye. You have been approved, and now you can go and relax. And thank you for being great citizens of District 2. Bye, ladies. Okay, we are now on to business item. Consider a resolution amending the Murray City Council policy and procedure. Our council member Paul Pickett is presenting.
All right, thank you. This amendment to the Council Policies and Procedure Handbook is to remove the requirement to read every email comment that comes in as a public comment. It does allow the council member to read the comments that come in via email as they see fit necessary, and these emails will always be added to the public record for the meetings. It just takes away the requirement to read every single one of them. That's all it is. Any questions? Comments?
I don't have any. Does the council have any questions for council member?
I just wanted to make sure we updated that last sentence.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
I was gonna motion a second.
Yeah.
We need to have a motion for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I move that we motion, what is it? Is it the second paragraph, Adam? I move that we don't strike out.
Page 26.
28.
28. The last sentence of number 4.
Yeah.
Item number 4. Yeah. That we keep that last sentence.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilwoman Rosalba Dominguez, and we have a second by Councilmember Adam Hawk.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye. And those corrections will be made and taken care of.
All right, now we need a motion to pass.
Okay, now we need a motion to pass this.
I move that we approve a resolution amending the Murray City Council policies and procedures.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilwoman Dominguez, and I have a second by Councilmember Adam Hawk.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hawk?
Aye.
Mr. Pickett?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter?
Aye. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here today. Okay, so now we're on to our fabulous mayor's report and questions for our mayor.
I can't believe you made a mistake, Jennifer. My goodness. It's the first time she's ever made one in 12, 14, 15, 17, 18 years you've been here. Joey, is that hooked up? You able to show? Joey's gonna come up. I've asked Joey to come up and show some pictures of the wildfires that our fire department's been involved with, and I'll let Joey, he sent me a little bit, they've arrived home, or arriving home, from their 5th 2-week deployment this summer. The last deployment was on Fish Creek Fire, just east of Yellowstone National Park. He said much of the smoke we're getting here is from there. And anyway, Joey, I'm just gonna turn to him just take a minute or two and just show some pictures and comment a little bit on that.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks, Joey. Hey, Joey
I
is
geeked
our,
out for a second. This took me like, I think, 30 seconds to add the pictures, but I got a movie for you. It has cool music. I didn't pick the music. I wish I knew how. Yeah. It's what they listen to when they're battling the dragon. That picture there I'll point out to you, and we'll end on that. It's actually what they're doing there is they're back burning. Oh, sorry, start again. There's
Should
a
we play it
reason
one
I'm-
more time, Joey?
Yeah, I know. There's a reason. You know, I was actually trying to figure out how to get that Apple thing, the Magic movie. I'm like, that's not what I titled it. But I was like, that's why I had it fast forward. I was hoping to avoid it, but all awkward moments. It's a lot like, you know, when I get married, everything else, my kids, you know, I can't change diapers, so on. But anyhow, you get the point. So this is our 5th deployment that the guys are out on, and I just really wanted to say thank you from them for supporting their deployments. I think they make an effort. The folks that are out there right now is James Euler. He's our new engine boss. He's one of our firefighter paramedics, but he fills the role as if he's a captain out there. And what he does is he's in charge of the crew. We actually do have a captain out there deployed, J.D. Riley, and then Chance Gailey's out there. But in this role, it's a specific set of requirements that it takes multiple deployments to be able to fulfill these requirements. And so it's extremely helpful to get that knowledge base, but really what it does is it funds our program here in Murray to be able to be ready for our surrounding fires in the valley, because Murray doesn't have a lot, thank goodness, of wildland, because my stress level goes down. We have the Jordan River and the parkways, and not that those are not serious wildland fire dangers. They're just nowhere near what you see up on the screen. And so it helps prepare our folks to when they have these smaller ones. They are very strategic in their firefighting tactics here in Murray and also up on the Wasatch Front or the Wasatch Back, as well as out in Harriman and so forth. So thanks. Did you guys have any questions while I was up here about it? Okay, thank you, Mayor, for the chance.
Thank you, Joey. If anyone knows Joey, that was a record time for him. Look at it. Craig, why are you smiling back there? Thanks, Joey. I appreciate it, really. We do appreciate all our first responders and all our employees, but we're grateful that everyone was able to return home safely, so thank you. Okay, next we have, let you know that the Park Center swimming pool remodel is completed, so it is open, just as we close the outdoor pool. So the indoor is now open to the public, and the outdoor has been closed for the winter. Also, this Friday, now come on, it's Abba Cadabra. Now Pam said to me, I don't know if you remember saying this, but Pam says, well, why don't you just get the real group? You know, I'm going, well, it's a little more than we can spend. I think these guys cost us $10,000 and they're $10 million. So anyway, they're great. I've seen them. They're a cover band of ABBA. And we'll have this one this Friday. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. Lori back there? No. Anyway, and then and then I believe the next two are the Saturdays, so the 21st and 28th. I believe Journey is the 21st. I can't remember the name of the band, but it's a cover band for Journey and then a cover band for Fleetwood Mac. And these are all great cover bands. We were packed, believe it or not, on the Toast concert, which is Bread. And do you remember them, Dale? Bread? Weren't you a part of the original band back then? Yes. Look at him. Let me tell you, they were great. I mean, honestly, they were packed. I mean, the whole place was full. And we're getting pretty, we have a lot of participants for this, the next few coming up. So we want to invite you to come. Look on, if you don't remember this, look on the website and it'll tell you when our concerts are. And then we have I don't know, I wish Lori was here. We have a dance here at the plaza, here right in our plaza on, I want to say Thursday. Let me look at the date real quick. It is on Thursday, July 19th, so that's a week from this Thursday. Oh, what did I say?
July.
Well, it's coming up. July's coming up. September. I look at Pam and she's going, it's September. And I thought she was talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, so anyway, so September 19th, which is a week from Thursday, is Dine and Dance. We will have a couple of food trucks out here and a live band. So I've been to them and they're fun. They're a lot of fun and we're getting more and more people out to them. So anyway, that is my report.
Public power.
Do you want to talk about power? The
I
power?
did want to talk about that. I must have skipped right over there.
Yeah.
Greg, I
Yes.
apologize. This Thursday is our public power celebration. And it's from 4 to 6:30. 4 to 6:30. They're doing J-Dogs. If you don't like hot dogs, come join us anyway, and you can have some side food. But they're doing J-Dogs at this, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. That's that's a big celebration. They have a lot of people turn out. And again, that's this Thursday from 4 to 6:30.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Pam.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? So moved. We are adjourned.